comments. But yeah, we did dominate. We had them camped in their own half. You know, we had Pep being humble and trying to defend. For me, though, it is a bit of a frustration with the lineup, with the first 45 minutes, with the fact that the one thing I won't blame Arteta with is the goal we conceded, didn't it? Because we're a good defensive side. It was brain farts. We actually started very well until that goal went in, and then I think we made a mountain of it. And then I just feel when I isolate Arsenal and City, I feel like especially when I get you on this platform, I keep saying the same things about like our creativity and that, and I think that extended into their game. So and it's another one where obviously you look at the summer, you look at what we've done, you look at what we want to do. I feel against Liverpool and City specifically, Arteta did, and I know he gets vexed about the handbrake, but he is being a bit cowardly in some of his tactics. Surely you could be a bit more attacking. Like, there's no need. I get it from a tactical point of view why Marino's out there, and I actually think people are being a bit disingenuous to Mikel Marino. But I'm at the point, Egal, where these players are tools, innit? Like, they're tools. You're the tradesman. And I think people have sussed us out. I think we need to see something different, man. I think we need to. I'm not saying, from minute 0 to 90, let's just go mad attacking. We still need to keep elements. But I do think Arteta internally is shooting himself in the foot because of these, for want of better words, negative tactics or a negative attacking tactics.
To me, it's about the areas of the pitch where the players are taking up. The way Arteta has the players set up, he has them in a way where there seems to be blocks. And you know how in the All or Nothing, he was speaking about stay in this block, stay in this block, stay in this block. It seems to be Saka's on the out wide block. Whoever's in the right 8 is in that block. Whoever's in the middle is in this block. Whoever's in the left 8 is in this block. And whoever's out wide is in this block. And to me, that is one of the things where people say it does seem like a little bit of a rigid system at times, right? Now, for me, the one thing I think we can do different is go to a double pivot and play a 10 that floats between each side, gives us more tactical flexibility and gives more unpredictability to how we play. And it seems like that's what we did versus Port Vale, but versus City. Eze, when he came on, where was he playing? I couldn't tell you.
He was everywhere.
Was he playing as a left winger? Was he playing as an 8? Was he playing as a 10?
As you said earlier, like throwing the kitchen sink at it, Biden. But that's my annoyance because
that's what I need, though. I need that kind of tactical flexibility from the beginning. Because if you look at
what did you just say there? Exactly. Because I think that game's weird, yeah. Because fair enough, all right, the lineup's gone out there, is what it is. But it's like we normally criticize Mikel Arteta's in-game management. You're not changing things quick enough. It's more the start. And I know hindsight's a wonderful thing, but it does feel like, for me, bro, we wasted 45 minutes. I'll be absolutely honest.
How did we break teams down so much before? Deluded, I think I watched Arsenal Vision podcast, and Clive, shout out to him.
Big up, Clive.
He said something smart. He said, and he's a very smart guy. He always says something smart. He basically said, before, the onus was on other teams to not make mistakes because then we would capitalize. Now the onus is on us to force those teams into mistakes or else we're not going to capitalize. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that City took the approach that they did. I'm not surprised that teams are taking the approach that they're taking now, because Arsenal Football Club in the past, we were coming into some of these games the underdog, and City would try to take a go at us. Other teams across the league would take a go at us. Now teams don't want to take a go at us. They know they're going to get hurt if they try to go at us. So they let us see if we can be the ones that attack them. And we have to be more creative. It's not about us finishing our dinner anymore. It's not about us just attacking. We can attack as much as we want, but attacking doesn't necessarily lead to creating the perfect chances. We need to be able to create better chances, better quality of chances, and find better patterns of plays, different ways to hurt teams, because winning the ball high up the pitch and countering is no longer the way to go. These teams are not letting us win the ball high up the pitch because they're trying to bypass the whole middle. They're bypassing the press. They're completely avoiding the press by not even playing from the back. And if we find another way to hurt teams outside of just our press, and be it more within our own possession, be within working in the half space, getting the 10 closer to the striker, I think that's the best way to get more involved. And that's why I kind of liked what we did versus Port Vale. We played with 2 attacking midfielders with 1 sitting midfielder. We haven't seen that
Yeah,
in a
but is
long.
Arteta gonna do that where you're playing? I'm not saying even it's the right thing against Newcastle, but for argument's sake, Egal, are you gonna do that against a Newcastle, a City, a Liverpool? Because I don't think I do. It's gonna sound hypocritical, but I think Arteta believes we can beat anyone. But I don't think he truly believes we can beat City and Liverpool based on the 2 games I've seen. Like he's still
No,
micromanaging too much.
he overthought it. Very simple. He overthought it, and I said he overthought it at the time. And people make mistakes. I think the way he assumed the game was going to go was that City were going to play their game by any means necessary, and we're going to just have to utilize our strengths to get them to make mistakes. But you know what City said? We're not playing your game. You're going to have to play our game, and that's what's going to
They
happen.
played our game, what we typically used to play against them: time wasting, dark arts, low blocks,
Yeah.
think at the gaff.
And they're like, you're the aggressor. You have to break us down. We're gonna sit back. We have a lead. We're away from home. We're gonna treat it like we're down to 10 men.
I'm sorry to keep cutting you again, but you know what's sad as well for me? See the goal we conceded? We actually were attacking. Like, but go on. It's the saddest thing.
The worst part about that goal is I feel like it just shows Erling Haaland's greatness. As much as you want to get on to Raya, you want to get on to Saliba, Gabriel, even. It's just
The
Erling Haaland.
midfield as well in the build up to that. That was horrible.
Yeah, Erling Haaland's great. He does what he does. And if we left Doku open and he took the shot, I probably don't think he maybe would have scored. The fact that it's Erling Haaland getting at the end of the chance just frustrates me. Why couldn't one of our defenders just be like, Timber, forget it. I'm gonna take Erling Haaland. You go take out Reinders. And if Reinders plays the pass to Doku, I'll take the one-on-one Doku versus Raya. I'll take that chance.
Yeah, rather than it being Erling, yeah.
Yeah, one-on-one Haaland versus anybody. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's done. You're game over. But yeah, luckily Raya saved us later in the game. It could have been.
I mean, Raya does what Raya does, man. Like, big up Mr. Safe Hands, man. Does his thing.
Yeah,
Been a good keeper.
After the game, there was so much silly semantics that I don't think we're gonna touch because you want to maybe move on.
No, touch on it.
I just want to say, why is it after every game we have to talk about Odegaard taking photos with the photographer? There's the players. The player. Remember after the Liverpool 3-1. Odegaard taking photos with the photographer, celebrating a goal, which we only celebrated for 22 seconds because VR was going to stop us anyways. And the player
and Zubimendi got the ball, if that's what you're talking about.
And the other team has to kick off the ball anyways. It's not like we're the ones doing the kickoff. And then what else is there? You got people saying, "Oh, Arteta is celebrating the draw because the camera shows him celebrating the goal." Also, you can't celebrate goals anymore. What else is there? Martinelli celebrating the goal and doing a knee slide, and the players going over to get him and celebrating with him as he gets the goal. It's like it's just a referendum. Everything doesn't have to be a referendum on Arsenal and the club and the mentality of the team. Not every single issue. Not every.
Yeah,
single
but
issue.
that's not going to stop it, Gal, man. There's no point getting vexed about it. It's not going anywhere.
Not every single incident is a referendum. For example, right now, Liverpool had that incident with Ekitike. Am I going to all of a sudden say the locker room at Liverpool is a mess now? Ekitike got fined 2 weeks wages.
Yeah, just stupid from Hugo. Just keep your shirt on. And I like Slot's comments on that.
No, but am I going to sit here and start making a drama saying Liverpool's a mess now? Ekitike is going to lose his head. He's not going to be happy anymore because he's been fined and all this other stuff. And no, who's going to do that? But if it's Arsenal, immediately people are going to jump to conclusions that everything's a mess. But yeah, it's just annoying, man. I feel like the pylon from professionals to media to rivals, some of them are supposed to do this, but some of them are professionals and their analysis is now becoming borderline banter. Did you see
it's banter, it's rage bait, it's engagement farming, which is why I always say, Arsenal fans, protect your mental health. Some of these, I like to read these things personally because I might not agree with the person. I might think they've got an agenda, but they might. I like to, in life, separate the message from the messenger. But generally, Arsenal fans need to protect their health. They don't care if they're right. Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher, their job is not to be right about the analysis. It's to get engagement. And naturally, like, let's just say, I don't know. Let's just say Jamie Carragher said something mad. Saliba's overrated or Saliba's just not a good footballer. There's going to be you, me, and all these people on social media acting it like, what are you doing? But we're giving them what they want. Sometimes man just have to ignore these people. We're supposed to be hated. Like, I'm at the point, Egal, we win stuff, we shut people up. And even if we win stuff, people discredit you. What do they say about the Invincibles? 12 draws. That's great. They're still invincible. We're happy as Larry. That's where we're at now, for me anyways. And I implore Arsenal fans, protect your mental health. But it's never going to happen, man.
12 draws. You know, the funny thing is, if a team went invincible in today's era, we would never hear the end of it. It would be Arsenal's invincible weren't that great. Ours is better. We seen what City tried to do with their trouble. They tried to belittle Man United.
That's always going to happen. That's always going to happen. It happened with the Invincibles. It happened with Pep when people mention money, even Jose with money and being negative. That's just football. Like if you're a striker, Egal, and you get 20 goals, let's just say you play for Arsenal, you're Gyökeres, you get 20 goals. What are people going to say? Oh, Egal got 20 goals, but he got 5 assists. There's always going to be something you ain't done. If I win the Champions League, it's because I spent money. If we win our Premier League, it's about time Arteta did it, which is true in a sense. It's always going to move, bro. This is football, man.
We won the game versus Port Vale yesterday. Man City also won their game versus Huddersfield 2-0. And it's like Arsenal and City both had similar games. We won 2-0, they won 2-0. We played some first team players, they played some first team players. And then you see the reaction to the two of them. The reaction to Arsenal was, oh my God, if Arsenal keep playing like this, they're finished. City's reaction was, if City keep playing like this, they're going to win their next 7 games.
Even that, yeah. No, I don't want to keep talking about that kind of stuff, yeah. But one thing I did find funny, and I know the contexts are different. The way the language around Pep Guardiola, like setting up defensively and all of that kind of stuff, bearing in mind that, again, I've got no beef with City, but at the end of the day, we had 11 versus 11, which is very different to our game at the Etihad when we went defensive, right? Obviously, they had the lead and then they bottled the lead. I'm not saying, listen, big up Pep, because I think the players let them down. I just know if the shoe was on the other foot, I know the language that would have been said, which is what I'm saying to you and Arsenal fans. Just let these guys talk, man. Just let these guys talk. You're preaching to the deaf. You're trying to get sense from someone who's made up their mind, innit? Like, it's crazy. It is crazy, but the goalposts are always going to move. I'm not going to lie, though. I do have to ask you. Obviously, for me, I get the tactics and all of that, but then Anfield, I can forgive you for playing Mourinho because you might want to be tighter and all of that kind of stuff. And then I look at the City game. I don't think Mourinho should have went out there. But my broader thing is, even Trossard shocked me. I wouldn't say Mourinho shocked me. Because I didn't want to see it. But I think every Arsenal fan knew my man was starting in it. But I wanted to ask you, do you think it's a big chance missed versus our title rivals? Because I know there's a lot of football to be played, but had we have done things differently, we might have potentially won at Anfield for the first time in a million years, and we might have got something at City. We might have had 6 points. These are the 2 teams, 3 including us, that were seen to be fighting for titles. Do you think it's a missed opportunity?
You know something? We never win away at Anfield anyways, but lately we haven't been losing. As long as we get the job done versus the West Hams, the Fulhams, we can weather this storm. I think people just are kind of disappointed the most right now is because Liverpool haven't dropped a single point and they look like a juggernaut. That's what's scary. It's not about Arsenal dropping points to Liverpool or drawing versus Man City. I think the main real cause for concern is because Liverpool have been perfect when they haven't been playing well. Where Arsenal, we haven't been playing so well either, but we've dropped points in games where I feel like we didn't give our best. And it's and that's what makes people lose belief. And I feel like some of the people who are losing belief are quick to lose belief because they don't trust the manager in the first place. And when the manager makes selection errors or he's basically at fault for the reason why we've set up in a way that we've set up, it's going to have people doubt if we can even get over the line. And the conversation keeps going around bravery. You need to be brave because they know our defense is good. They know our team is good. They know we're one of the best teams and we should be winning. But if we don't win, it's really just on one person at this point this season. I don't think you
think they're wrong though.
They're not wrong. They're not wrong. I agree. I think Arteta has to trust that he has attacking options that are quality enough that they can win us a game, and he has the defensive options on the pitch, regardless of who is in the team that can get us a result. Sometimes I feel like we're too safe. With the midfield, we're too safe first. We're too much focused on pressing and winning the ball back rather than having the ball in our hands to go and smash the team open.
And that's a form of defense as well. That's the only thing we're missing. Like, I think football's a trade-off. I understand, there's times where it could go against you, but that's where I want Mikel Arteta to change. If you like, I don't want our defense to be exposed, yeah. But if you really back our defensive ethos as a team, you back our back five, depending on who's out there. Zubamendi's a 6, and also I'd say Rice. I want to see that because we can defend, we can press, we can do mid and low blocks, we can take the sting out of games, we can time waste, we can do the bit of the, pardon my language, shithousery. I think that's where we're missing, and I do think we're in that stage now where Liverpool, in my opinion, Liverpool are better than us in it. But I think Slot had that healthy respect for us. I think City historically have been better than us. We're probably better than them now. They had that healthy respect for us. And I don't know, obviously, I'm not saying this with Mikel, but I don't know if he fully comprehends that we're in that realm now, if that makes sense. Like, they've got things that they can do to us. We've got things. And I'm not being funny, but bro, you've got Gyökeres, you've got Eze, you've got midfield runners, you've got, as you kind of stifle teams in your own half. That's what I want to see from the manager now. Like, that is what I think we're missing. And I think if we don't win a Premier League title, my thing is it's on Arteta. It's not the players. Of course, the players will make mistakes. And I do think there's a section of fans that believe in our squad, not necessarily wholeheartedly in the gaffer.
I feel like that's why a lot of people are saying Arsenal must, is because they believe this team is good enough to win. And the reason why they also say you must is because they also, in the heart of heart, believe that Arteta has gotten us to a level where we can win. And I don't think some of these rivals care if we don't win or not under Arteta. And I do believe some of the times it's like Arsenal might become a mess if we sack the manager and bring in a new manager. And some people, in their eyes, it's like, I don't hear too many people say, long may Arteta stay. I don't really hear that. I just kind of hear people taking shots at him, putting pressure on the team because the outside pressure, the fans feel it the most, and it causes a lot of disruption. But I think the players and the manager are safe and protected from all the nonsense, because just look at how we reacted after losing some of the league games that we lost. We didn't drop our heads. We focused on the Champions League. We didn't drop our heads. We continued to stay focused. I think these guys are a lot more calm and level-headed than some of the fans out there. The fans, you know how we are, man. We're out of control.
Is it a must-win season for Mikel Arteta? Like, seriously, like, surely
it is a must-win season, and in my opinion, if we don't win, we should start considering moving on from the manager. But at this moment in time, is it beneficial to have a referendum on Arteta after every drop?
That I agree, but Egal, as well as myself, every time we lose or draw or whatever, Arteta in, out, this one, that one, we all know the same narratives. I think fundamentally, Gaffer, if you don't win, we have to look at something else.
No, but you know what it is? I don't think after every win, we should say our players are the best players in the world. So after every loss, should we really be analyzing why one of our players is not good enough or our manager is not good enough after every loss? Sometimes you lose or you drop points. You made one mistake that cost you, and you have to make sure you don't make those mistakes anymore. If we continue to see Arteta make the same mistakes going forward, then we know he can't help himself. But from here on out, if we don't see a midfield three of Zubamendi, Rice, and Moreno with Trossard and Madueke and Gyökeres again, I'm going to be happy. I don't want to see that starting 6 ever again. Ever.
And that's my frustration with Arteta, yeah, because I think I've been very consistent. I don't feel pre-season's a magical place where all the rights, where everything's positive and you just get all the errors out. I'm not expecting everything to click in the first 5 games in the Premier League, 7 in all comps. But I feel that in the last 2 seasons, I've been very consistent with everything I've said about him in the final third. I think I didn't see anything during pre-season, give or take, with Bilbao. I don't think I've seen little sprouts like. I'm not saying it's going to click, but I don't think I've seen little sprouts. I love what you do defensively. Midfield is a bit shaky, but I'll give you the luxury. Rice and Zubamendi are still trying to click, and Odegaard's been out. The final third, and I don't think, to be fair, I'm probably a hypocrite. Second half of the City game, I did think we threw the kitchen sink at it. But I feel in my life, when I start talking about the same things week in, week out, it does become a bit like a broken record. And you said it there, the midfield. Like, I want to ask you, you're not a coach, I'm not a coach, yeah? Why does Mikel Merino seem to get the nod ahead of an Eze currently or a Wanyeri? Obviously, Odegaard's been injured. Like, what is it? Because it can't be because of creativity. My opinion, Egal. Go on.
Pressing. He uses him as a striker to press, and he has Gyökeres or whoever's playing at the striker at the time on the left side, pressing on the other side. So similar to how Odegaard was leading the press from, and it became a 4-4-2. When we're out of possession and we're pressing, he has Moreno pressing, and he has Eze or whoever, Trossard or whoever is the left winger, tucking in and joining the midfield for that second layer of pressing.
I think, yeah, I have you right. And I kind of, for me, it kind of ties into what we've been talking about, in the sense that I don't think he deviates enough from the system. We all know Mikel Merino is not Martin Odegaard, but like obviously in the Odegaard role, we look at Odegaard creating, breaking lines, all of that. But then you look at the positions he takes up, as you said, there leads the press. He might not be Odegaard, but he's probably the closest thing Arteta reckons can replicate that. Obviously, Madueke is a right winger. He came in for Saka, and we hope Madueke, for what it's worth, gets fit. I just think he maintains the same thing with the players that are the next best thing. And I think sometimes you need to deviate away from the script. Not that I want to talk about others, but Slot is significantly more experienced than him. And I think these are the kind of fine margins that Arteta is struggling with, because I've seen Slot not change too much at Liverpool in his first year, have a bit of dramatic changes now, take man off in the first half. These are the little bits of, I guess what I'm looking for, Egal, street smartness from Mikel Arteta, because we don't lose that many games. We all know, fair enough, we had 14 draws, but we all know there's probably 5 games in the season that we will look back at hindsight, and then we'll do the if we won there, if this and that, and we're 5 points behind Liverpool. I don't want to panic. It's September. They will drop points, as will we, but I feel like I keep saying and seeing the same things, man.
You know something? We found a room in the market with the set pieces, and we found a way to take advantage of our opponent. Why can't we find a way to break teams down in open play? Why can't we use that same intelligence that we have for set pieces to find a ball or a certain way build up? Because there's definitely
something structurally, and Arteta has to ask himself to want to do that.
Look at PSG's goal versus us, the first goal at the Emirates. That is a textbook PSG training ground goal. You win the ball, you pass it again, you get it out wide to Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia cuts it back anywhere in the box to whoever's open. It's a goal. Same exact goal was scored against Liverpool, if I'm not mistaken, and a similar type of goal was also scored against Aston Villa. We don't have training ground goals. What I think our new training ground goal is ball over the top. Ball over the top to the last man. Ball over the top to Martinelli. Ball over the top to Gyökeres. It's not always going to work. Not every team's going to play a high line. We have to have another way. And you know what our solution was in 2022, 2023? The similar goal we used to have. Win the ball on the halfway line. Go with 3 people, get a goal. Win the ball at the halfway line, go with 2 people, get a goal. Win the ball at the halfway line, go with 4 people, get a goal. Now, we don't win the ball at the halfway line because teams don't let us do that anymore. They play out wide. It's like Football Manager when you're just distributing from the wide channels instead of the middle.
I hate doing that. I actually play, I've probably got the same issue as Mikel Arteta. I break down central regions. I just play centrally on Football Manager. Like, I just get all the cams in. I want to ask you this, yeah. How important is the League Cup to you? How important do you think the League Cup is to Mikel Arteta this season?
League Cup means nothing to Mikel Arteta. In the sense of, if he wins it, it means nothing. If he loses it, it means another trophy he's lost and another way to criticize him. I don't think he gains anything, any feather in his hat, any confidence or belief more from fans or pundits or players. The only thing that changes Arteta's reputation at Arsenal is if he delivers a league title or a Champions League. If he wins the FA Cup this season, does that really mean people are going to be like, hey, he won the FA Cup, I'm going to believe in him now? First thing they're going to think about is Ten Hag. If he wins the League Cup, same thing. First thing they're going to think about
is well, to be fair. A finished Wenger, as they would say.
And the League Cup, winning it or losing it, is not going to dictate if we consider the season a successful season or unsuccessful season. Now, don't think I'm looking down at the trophy for 1 second. I'm simply stating, how does it affect Arsenal, the manager? And if you want to talk about trophies, it's great to get a trophy after 5 years.
For the players, the fans, yeah.
But all these guys are not signing new deals. All these guys are not getting expensive contracts for us to just win League Cups. I want I think Arsenal are still destined to have those years of dominance. It's coming. It's just,
What do you
we,
mean by years of dominance?
bro, we have been so good for the last couple of years, and we still are at an age where majority of our key players are at an age where they're going to be together for a while. As long as Man City and Liverpool don't go on to have another dynasty where they take 6 trophies out of the next 5, out of this next 7, I believe Arsenal's going to have a couple here and there, and we're going to have a moment. We're going to have our moment. We just have to continue to push on and add to the team like we did this summer. Continue to push on, and I believe
But
if
when's the
Arteta,
project gonna go bang though?
the project's already gone bang, we just haven't won.
Then it ain't gonna bang.
No,
We've
it had
rebuilt. Like, oh, you
from
can't say it's gone.
from
It's banged in.
from
Egal.
from 2022, 2023, the project went bang. Now we're recognized as one of the best teams in the world. Now we need
Well,
to
it should
start
be that though.
winning.
We're all like, what groundbreaking things have we done? I have to be devil's advocate. I don't necessarily agree. I disagree with you, but yeah,
We got
like,
the
what
most
have we done?
points. We got the most points in club's history in the league.
Yeah, we got more points than the Invincibles. Like that, but don't you feel that's the kind of realm we're getting into where Arteta starts talking about timing of things. There's times where we finished second and had more points than the next year where somebody's won a title. Bearing in mind, Liverpool have got 90 or 90 plus points and not one. Don't you feel that's ideal scenario kind of territory? Don't you feel it shows that we're developing and we're doing well, but it don't really count for much, surely. It shows we're building something, but that ain't banging. We're supposed to be a good defensive side. Some would say, Gal, they've seen that under George Graham. Fair enough, we ain't been to the semi-finals too many times, but Wenger's done that. As much as I agree with what you're saying, being devil's advocate, though, what has Arteta done that we haven't seen at Arsenal? And if we
But
have got all of these positive statistics and all these positive things, surely it's over the line time now.
it's not only Arteta. I just feel like in general the club has gotten better at just doing regular day-to-day business.
Big
That
up,
is one. That is one thing. And Arteta in himself, I feel like he's gonna be forever criticized until we win, and that is as it should be. Right now, we can't do anything to protect his legacy or say something to make things sound better than they are.
Unfortunately,
Because
I don't think you have a legacy. That's not to discredit anything you've done.
no,
If
no,
you
he
left
definitely
today,
has a
we're in a
legacy.
better thing. Huh?
He does have a legacy. If we win or if we don't
Yeah,
win,
come on, bro. He's
if
got a
we
legacy.
if he leaves and we win, and if he's here and we win, regardless, his legacy is he's left his team in the best state that they've been.
That's what I was
So
gonna say. If he left today, we're clearly not even his haters. If he left today, we're in a better stead than we was last year. I agree with what you're saying with all the statistics,
last
good
year when
defense.
he walked in the building,
Yeah, yeah.
we
When he
were
walked, sorry, when he walked in the door up until now. If he walked, if he, we're in a better state when he walked into now. We've got all those positive statistics. We've got everything. He might be the man before the man. But again, like, what legacy? Like, that's why I need him to, because I want you to get that. And I think some people back Arteta more than the club, but I want you to be here and enjoy. Like, all of this can't be in vain. We're getting impatient. I think even Mikel Arteta's most devout servants have to see that. Come on now. We know you're a good coach. Are you a winning coach? Well, fair enough. He's got to
what do you
rebuild the
think?
legacy.
What do you think? Do you think he's a losing coach? You call him a loser?
I think it's disrespectful to call him a loser. I don't think you're a winning coach. I just said it. I think you're a good coach. I don't think you're a winner yet. You haven't. Yeah, we could do the political thing, and I appreciate the fact that every time you get knocked down, you still get up. You're still motivated. The players haven't down tools. I do think you've done a lot. We're competitive. All of these things. It's just the bottom line is, on one hand, big you up for that. Appreciative to helping us in part. You've made some mistakes and that. Big you up. It's now about winning, because if we really do believe we've got the great defense and the squad's this good, and as you said, more points than the Invincibles, and for me as well, we're not getting embarrassed in Europe. We're literally closer to getting to where we want to than the other way. So for me, it's you're not a winner yet. You're literally not. You haven't. And this is someone that I'm not an Arteta apologist, but I'm giving you your flowers. You're not a winner to me yet. Like, you haven't done anything that I have seen him. You haven't done anything that I haven't seen in my 30 years. You haven't. Maybe set pieces, but you haven't. You ain't won nothing of significance. I've seen us win an FA Cup. You ain't won a Premier League. You've done a lot. And for someone that started off as a novice coach, big you up. But you're not a winner, and that's the way to shut people up. And I believe until you become a winning coach, I think there should be options on the table of getting rid of you or persisting with you and everything in between. Because I actually think you're at that point now, Arteta. It's you versus the man in the mirror. You will be the reason you win a Premier League or champs or not. Kind of what we've been talking about in relation to the tactics and things like that.
That's why I say there's no excuses.
Yeah. He needs to deliver. All right, so let me ask you this then. Honest to God, Egal, yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate our Premier League chances? Honestly. Because Liverpool's surely the favourites.
Right now, I would say, if I'm gonna be fair, I would say I would say 35% chance Liverpool, 30% chance Arsenal, and then the rest of the field have the rest.
Out of 10, I give it
So
a 5, man.
I'm saying
I'd give it
like
a 5.
25% is the rest of Man City and the rest of the league.
No, you can't discredit City, to be fair. I know they're probably not going to win it, but you can't discredit them. Out on a scale of 1 to 10, honestly, I'll give it a 5. If it was just based on, like, if managers didn't exist, squad, I'd give it a 7. I think we could really do it. I just feel like I need you to get over that mental break, handbrake, or whatever. All of the negatives we say about Arteta, I need you to get over that.
You
If you
know
don't show
something?
me anything different, it's dark. Go on.
When we're on if we're on like a 4 or 5 game winning streak in the league, and away from these Liverpool and Man City performances down the line, and say Liverpool drop points and City drop points, and we're back in the title race conversations, I don't think anyone's going to be shocked if we go on to win it this year. Like, I don't think it's a shock. If we win the league, it wouldn't be a shock. If we lose the league, I don't think it would be a shock. The only thing that would be a shock to me is if Arteta's sacked and the club is a mess and we're down in like top 4 conversations.
God forbid.
That's where I would be shocked.
I won't lie, Gal. I would be shocked if we win the Prem, purely because I've been burnt so many times. I think it will only sink in that we've actually won the Prem when I see this. Like, I think I've been hurt too many times. That's the only time. Big up Rants for the raid, man. Like, yeah, man. It's it's the hope that kills, man. Flirting with it, bro. And it's a thing where we shoot ourselves in the foot.
I feel like partially that comes from the fact of lack of belief in the club. I feel like you lack belief in the club.
I can't say the club. I think it's Arteta. If I lack faith in anyone purely under the guise of winning, I think it's Arteta. I can't get onto, as much as I've never been the biggest fan of KSC, brother. You've backed this guy. You've spent P's. You know you got Berta in. You bought eight or so players in. Berta, you've done your thing. I've said numerous times I believe in the squad. I'm not obviously at London Coley, but the coaching stuff. It's the head honcho. As you know, yeah, if you have a business, let's actually, I hate to do this, but Arsenal's a business. Indirectly, if Arteta's the CEO, everything's your fault. I think it's you. You will be the reason we win, and you'll be the difference, I'd say, as to if we win and not. I think you've got enough learned experiences now to know what we need to do. So I wouldn't say it's not necessarily faith in the club. It's faith or disbelief in the gaffer for me, bro. I'll be real. It's just you. I'm not obviously, clearly, you know me, Egal. I'm not scapegoating him and saying it's all him. But ultimately, you're the one that makes the decisions. Me and you can say, oh, put Eze in the 10, put this one out there. Why are you doing this, that, and the other? If Arteta don't want to do that, he won't do it. And then it brings me to this, my guy. Like, I understand it in theory, but I think Egal, I think he's getting a bit arsey. I understand why the pundits, but when he's saying, I heard a lot of things using my phone, they could not believe what we did to City. People are coaches, managers, CEOs, presidents. That's great. City did have 34% of possession. So I understand him hitting back in relation to domination. But the saddest pill for me to swallow is it was a full circle moment against City. That used to be us, but he didn't get 3 points. That's where I start to get vexed, because this is now where we need to get over the line. And then he's clearly peed off with the handbrake comments. So it's like, is he feeling the pressure? Is he out of his depth? Is he losing the plot? Where are you at with that?
He is giving it back to the people who give it to him. Simple.
Fair.
I think everyone has something to say about Arteta. For once, he had to say back, and people don't like it. That's really what it is. Fair people enough. Like to dish it, but they don't like when somebody dishes it back, or gaslights them, or says something back. And people would rather say, Arteta, don't say nothing. Just keep it. Just sometimes.
Big up Harry. I had him on the platform, and he didn't say nothing, but he's like, just don't bite the bait. Type of thing.
Yeah,
it's almost like when he was like, nobody asked me about the midfield against Bilbao. He's getting a bit arsey now.
But you know something? He's not wrong, but at the same time, I feel like he's intentionally trying to divert pressure away from his players and put it on himself. So in one breath, you could say he is putting more pressure on himself. In another breath, you could say he's doing that intentionally to protect his players. And if that is the real reason why he's doing it, it's honorable. I know Jose used to do that. I know all sorts of managers used to do that.
You really buy that? To be fair, he's done that from the jump when he said hit me, not the players. But like, we'd be hypocritical because like, what did we just say earlier, Gal? Like, a lot of people believe in the squad, not necessarily the gaffer. So can you really divert? Can anyone really divert? It's almost like, remember when I had you on this platform, yeah, and people were like, get rid of Odegaard's captain's armband and all of that. I understand the rhetoric, but I've never subscribed to it because, okay, he takes off the armband. He's still playing for Arsenal. He's still one of the players you lot are onto. There's always going to be pressure playing for the big clubs. So it sounds good in theory, but is it really doing anything?
It doesn't. It doesn't do anything if the man in charge doesn't think that that's going to benefit anybody in the long run. We can all talk about Eze playing in the 10, but I think the main reason why he played in the 10 was out of sheer lack of options at the moment. He needed something to give them a spark, and he did it. And I don't think Arteta is as rigid as everybody says he is, because when shit hits the fan, he definitely loosens up a little bit more. But should he be that loose from the beginning? Should he allow things to just be reckless and chaotic from the beginning? I don't think that's the way to go. I do think there has to be some level of structure. But can there be more structure in our creativity? Can there be
freedom within a framework? Can there be chaos within the structure? If Luis Enrique is better than him, but Luis Enrique, that's the blueprint.
Look at the goal we scored versus Port Vale. That was a breakdown of defending that allowed Eze to get himself right in front of goal and just pick a corner.
You give Arsenal space, we do damage.
I believe Odegaard gets in that position maybe 6 or 7 times a week when we play 3 games a week. I see him in that position at least twice a game. Eze in that position twice a game is going to score.
Do you see Eze on that as well? Sorry to cut you, Egal. You see the Eze assist for Martinelli. Do you see Odegaard playing that?
No. When has he ever?
To be fair, I think he has, but not to that extent.
I've never seen him play a ball in behind. I've seen him play the ball on the ground away at Brighton.
Yeah. Exactly.
I've seen him ping a ball right away out of his feet directly into the line of play, but I've never seen him. Everything is in front of him stopped, and him just go boop. Usually it's in motion. Odegaard plays a lot of his game is in motion. You don't see Odegaard when he stood still making the right decision. Similar to Martinelli. Martinelli, majority of his movement, his good movement is in motion. You never see Martinelli
when he doesn't have time to think.
Bro, what he did versus City, he did not have time to think. Somehow he had the clarity to do something that I didn't think he would be able to pull off.
Big up the impact sub.
Yeah, bro. The last 2 games, he showed me coming off the bench that late in the game when he's tired, part of his decision making is poor
as well, to be fair.
Because of his lack of energy. He's so tired late in the game he can't think. That's why he's making poor passes. That's why his finishing is poor at times. Coming off the bench, it gives him so much more clarity. It's kind of crazy. I wouldn't have thought that just coming on fresh into the game would make that much of a difference to a player's impact. It's crazy.
Pardon me, I need to ask you about Madueke as well, like, because I would say me and you were kind of aligned in our thinking in that we're not fans of the scapegoating. We definitely weren't fans of the signings. We maintain that we don't really want him, but he's not as bad as people making out. He's come a long way from the petitions. I actually think he was getting some confidence, some momentum. I actually think he looked good in the 45 minutes against City, obviously before his injury. But where are you at with him?
Before we get to him, can we just speak? Is it luck or is it the training ground methods? What is it?
Say that again.
Is it luck or is it training ground methods? The injuries. Which one is it?
I don't believe in luck in it. To answer that, it must be something on the training ground. But neither me nor you were not at London Coley to know. It's one where, bro, I wish I had answers. I've just come to accept injuries with Arsenal, which is why I'm happy we got some depth. Obviously, I want everyone fit. Look, someone said we're cursed. Someone said it's high intensity training. But then again, yeah, like sometimes when people were saying that last year, Arteta come out and said like when the season's kind of in the thick of it, we're not even really training like that. So where does that kind of go? And also you have to train them
I'm
in
looking
play.
at these injuries though. ACL, unlucky. Jesus. Martinelli hamstring, Havertz hamstring.
Yeah, no, that's on Mikel Arteta
Leandro
overworking.
Trossard hamstring, Saka hamstring. Those are
And
on
there's
the
more.
manager.
Yeah, they're on the gaffer.
The ankle injury, that's an accident. Groin injury, that's an accident. Knee injury, that's an accident. But the hamstring injuries, I feel like are fully preventable. And you want to know something? All those injuries are just forwards. I didn't even speak about midfielders and defenders.
All the players that have been running like have played significant parts. Kai, Saka, remember Martinelli last year. It doesn't surprise me. We've had a small squad for previous years, ran these man into the ground. I actually think that played a part into why we bought so many in this summer.
But Nani Madueke played 3 games, if I'm not mistaken.
Don't forget Norgard as well. Him and Norgard never got injured for Chelsea and Brentford, respectively. I don't know what. I don't know. Egal, that's a great question.
No, Nani
That's
got
what the
injured.
journalists should be asking the gaffer about.
Nani got injured for Chelsea last season, bro. He missed a big chunk of their season last season.
A huge chunk.
Yeah, I thought he missed a big chunk of their season. Remember, Chelsea were down with no attackers at one point. Enough. Let me check.
There might be some. I don't know, man. Arteta needs to come out and say.
Madueke at PSV was injury prone. I think some of the conversation around Madueke's injury.
He had muscle in. To be fair, he had
I think some of the conversation around the injuries at Arsenal is unfair, and some of the
is it really unfair?
Yeah, I think some of the conversation is unfair because some of the injuries are completely out of your control as a player and as a manager. Some of them are impact injuries. Some of them are not wear and tear.
I think people are disingenuous to Arteta when you speak about injuries, but I don't. Yeah. I want to say generally it's unfair.
As for injuries in general, we can't complain. If our players are injured or not, we need our best players available to go on and try to win. But even without them, we should have enough to weather the storm for parts of the season. We have a big squad now. This is why we have a big squad. This is why even with City having injuries, this is why City expected us to beat them because they had injuries and they didn't believe that they had enough to beat us. They had belief that they had enough to maybe come to our house and give us problems, but maybe they didn't think they were going to beat us. As for what we did to them last year, beating them 5-1, I expected us to win that game, and I expected us to slap up Port Vale also. But the performances in both games, I feel like we just need to be better creating way more quality chances. Gyökeres was signed for a reason, and we have not used him.
Hey, great segment. Gyökeres, you just said there. Is it Gyökeres? Is it the manager? Is it the system?
It's a little bit of everything. Gyökeres is taking too many touches. The players are not playing to his strengths, and the manager is not creating enough chances for him. The manager's job is to get the ball in the final third to the players that can finish it off and help them get to that section of the pitch and help them find ways to beat that opponent to get the ball into those areas of the pitch. I don't think he's done enough to do that. What I see from Gyökeres, he's taking too many touches. Too many touches. Just take it first chance. Yesterday, if he would have, when Max Dahman gave him the ball, if he would have just one time near post, I think he would have scored.
Do you think Arteta's adapted more to Gyökeres or Gyökeres has adapted more to the system?
In order to get more touches, he's definitely adapting to the system because sometimes he's going from getting 6 touches to 16. The games that he's getting 16 touches, he's doing more than just getting into the box. As for Arteta, I don't think he's changed how he plays to suit Gyökeres yet. I don't think he's playing to his strengths. I don't think he's really changed the team.
Playing to his limitations, and like I don't even mean that to be disingenuous.
What he did for the first 10 minutes versus Manchester United only lasted 10 minutes versus Manchester United because it was so chaotic. I don't think he ever wants to do that again. It was so chaotic.
I think you're right, man. I think there's an element of, he needs to, you need to get up to speed with your teammates and that. It annoys me because I remember I had you on the platform and we both agreed one thing around Gyökeres is signing because we've been asking Arteta to do things differently. Gyökeres is a different kind of striker on paper to what we demanded, and I thought that would have forced him. And I think every Arsenal fan kind of knew when you get past the excitement, you could have. Isak's obviously got a lot more about him, and he probably would have been the best striker, and he might have scored some more goals because he's got individual brilliance. But we all knew it weren't as white and black as you just slap a strike. There's been games where you could say that, but you just slap the striker in and it's just plug and play. I think Gyökeres is doing all he can. I think he's an evidently limited striker where we're not creating tap-ins for him. The man's had 7 shots. On the face of it, 7 shots, 5 games, 3 goals. That ain't, it's good, but it's not sustainable. He's feeding off scraps. He wants to go fast on the transition. And then for me, we talk about breaking down low blocks or flat track bully. If he scores against the smaller teams, it's great. But that's where our issues breaking down low blocks have been. And I would also say, Gal, the bigger talking point is anything that we say about Gyökeres individually, that extends to Eze. That extends to everything we've kind of been talking about our attackers. So ain't it going back to what we've been saying at the start in that Arteta, the handbrake down, just you might make us 10% weaker in a midfield or attack, but I mean in midfield or defense, but we might gain 10%.
Bro, I believe if you take the handbrake off, the system is the issue, not the way that we're attacking. We could go full out attack in this system. We're not going to break anybody down. It's not about the handbrake. It's about the system needing to change, to have players in different areas. Because the way he has us right now, he has our best players touching the ball furthest away from goal.
It's like he's holding hands.
Why is Saka getting the ball every single time outside of the box? Sometimes maybe he should get the ball inside the box. And guess what he's going to do? He's going to slap it in the net or get an assist. So maybe instead of Eze being on the wing, it's good for him to be in the middle of the net. And you've seen how he got the goal.
Get something to change your movement, going.
Yeah. Also, look at how we got our second goal versus Real Madrid for away from home. Well, Saka was basically on the left side, chipping the keeper. How often do we see players, bro? I rewatched every single Mo Salah goal before the beginning of the season, and you know what I said to you. It's not the first time I said this to you. I rewatched every single goal, like the highlights of every single goal that he scored on Y Scout. The key difference between Saka average positioning and Mo Salah's average positioning. Mo Salah's average positioning, he gets the ball in the box. Every time he's finishing, first touch, second touch, he's beating one man, getting a goal. It's inside the box. Out of all his goals he scored in the Premier League, I don't think more than 100 is from outside the box. I think it's like maybe like 50.
Maybe but this 50. Is what I'm saying to you, Egal. We need to. Do you know why? Do you know what I think? What assists I think was better for Eze? Of course, in terms of quality, the goal he set up for Martinelli was amazing. That's what we want to see. But do you know what warmed my heart the most of any goal that's been set up by Arsenal today? It's actually Eze squaring it for Gyökeres. I know Forest sat off, but them kind of unglamorous goals is I think what we're missing. Just tap ins, bro. What did I say to you when we signed Gyökeres and I had you on this platform? I know we scored great goals on the transition, but it's them little scrappy goals. That's your bread and butter. Like you said, with Mo Salah, you could even throw Haaland into it. Obviously, these men are great players, great strikers. Highlight.
Who made the pass?
Yeah, but the vast majority of if they scored, Isaac, who do you expect is going to be up there for the Golden Boot? We hope Gyökeres, but what? Probably Isaac, right? Haaland, potentially Salah. I guarantee you, if these men get 20, 25, huh? Semenyo, yeah, bring him to Arsenal. All these man, let me exclude Semenyo from this, but all of them kind of man, yeah, if they get 20, 25 plus, like it's gonna there's gonna be great goals. They're gonna score screamers and whatnot, but the vast majority of them goals are gonna be tap-ins. That's your food and drink. Kind of, it's not the same, but kind of what you saw Haaland against us. Arteta, come on, man, you know this, man. Like, you know this. You've been at City. You came through La Masia. I refuse to accept this now, Arteta. You made us good defensively. Still think there's some fine-tuning in midfield. I'm not on this now. Like,
guess where Eze got the ball? Eze received the ball exactly where I want him to receive the ball. It was in the box, squared it in the box, and the striker was there for the tap-in. And who played the pass? Calafiori.
Exactly.
The way we've been scoring our goals and breaking teams down has been over the top. But if a team sits back, like Everton or Palace, how are we going to break them down?
That's our kryptonite.
My answer is very simple. Have the wide players be the fullbacks and the midfields, and have Saka and Eze or Odegaard in the half space next to the striker. So you always have your best attacking players.
Your high line. Look at Barcelona, man, against Newcastle. It'd be nice if we did that on Sunday, but I'm not holding my breath.
No. The thing is, Newcastle against a high line for Arsenal side, I don't want to do that. What I want is I want to find a situation where we trust our defenders and everything back there to deal with the situation, but at the same time be a little bit more controlled and safe. Where the attacking side of the game, I want us to be more technical. I want us to be more creative. I don't want to see Moreno in this team. I don't want to see Rice and Zubimendi.
You can bring them on to see out the game, but let's start differently, Gaffer. Now we've
And
tried
I
it
want
way.
Rice. I want Rice when he's out of possession to not be the 6. I want Rice to be going in and helping out in that left half space. If it means Eze's inside and he's out wide, or if it means he's out wide and or Calafiori's, or he's covering Calafiori, Declan Rice spend the rest of the game covering Calafiori. I don't give a shit.
This is what I've been saying.
I don't need you in the final third. If we have Eze and Calafiori there, you can stay back and we can just.
You can make your forward runs on occasion, but this is what I mean, Gaffer, man. Like,
let me show you what I want. Let me show you
man.
what I want, because this is I you know me. Sometimes I can bring graphics myself.
We love this. Share your screen and then share your screen and then I'll share your screen, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there we go. So this is the Arsenal. First of all, this is the Newcastle setup. If I'm not
Zoom
mistaken.
in a bit.
This is how Newcastle's set up, right?
Zoom in a tiny bit.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Let me just do this 1 second. That better?
Yeah. Obviously, people, you can't really see the goal. Yeah.
Okay, so that's Newcastle setup, right? We need to find the way that we currently play.
From the last game, people, obviously.
The way, this is how they set up their last game in the league.
Kind of like Port Vale to a degree against us yesterday.
Exactly. So in this situation, you could play with 2 attackers and a DM, because you don't need too many people to cover the fact that they only have 2 forwards. We have a back 4 that can turn into a back 3.
And Gyökeres is going to drop our inverted left back, so we're kind of going to even out the midfield.
So to change
this, I take Marino at that pivot, man. I'm tired of that. Big up yourself, Marino. I think you're getting scapegoated, but even looking at it.
So to change this, Odegaard's staying home, in my opinion. It's going to be Ethan. Ethan starts away. And in this game,
you reckon he's going to start Ethan tomorrow? Well, Sunday.
It's either Ethan or Max. It's either Ethan or what do you call it? Trossard starts and Eze's in the middle.
I want Ethan to start. I'm happy with either way, but I honestly, I think he's going to go with Marino again, man. He's come out puffing out chest. He's played Marino in how many games last season, which it worked. Why is he going to change anything now? I want him to, but if I was a betting man, it's a myth. It's Newcastle away, especially the midfield, of Newcastle, where we know how talented Gomares and Tonali is. And
I think I'm going to lose people. A bit of a fighter. I'm trying to explain how I feel like we should be.
No, keep doing that. And also, while we're here, like, what do you think of Marino and Rice in midfield? It just says we're here as well.
Marino and Rice can work, but I don't feel like you'd have to have Marino in this position. And Marino in this position is not creative enough to create a goal for Gyökeres and Saka. And he's also not good enough to link up to get
anything. He's a better finisher than everything you just said as well about him.
Let me just redo this 1 second. Let me just redo this quickly. So Moreno, if Moreno's going to be in the team, I need it to be like this. That's the only way I would want Moreno in the team. I would need Moreno to be in the middle, and I would need him to be like a second striker, and I would need him to be somebody.
Against City, he was more on the right hand side. Against Forest, he was doing the kind of left eight. I just Marino.
Yeah, because I feel like Arteta needs to change the whole setup, because the setup right now is a 4-3-3, and when he has it as a 4-3-3, what it does forget about the personnel for a second. When you have a 4-3-3, we automatically turn the 4-3-3 into a situation where whoever is in this situation is here, and whoever is, so for example, if you switch right now, Moreno's here, and then you now have a situation where you have 5 players on top of each other, and there's not enough spacing for Moreno to actually do what he's good at.
And we're narrow as a side anyways.
Right, and then Eze has to then switch with Rice, and then Rice switches with Calafiori, and the next thing you know, our 2 DMs are sitting in this shape, and then Timber's coming up here, and then it becomes like that. And now Moreno is on top of Saka and Gyökeres, and there's not enough passing lanes. The way to improve this, in my opinion, is to replace him with an Ethan or an Odegaard. If you replace him with Ethan and Odegaard, in this situation, you replace him with Odegaard. Calafiori is one of our best threats on the left. Him and Eze and Gyökeres, that triangle. Odegaard, Saka, and Gyökeres on this triangle. And it then allows us to have way more space on the pitch. Declan Rice is no longer in this area with 4 people in this area.
I don't even know why Zubimendi don't move over to the left on occasion and Rice on the right, really.
And even if you don't, if you even want to make more space, you can make more space by just what do you call it? Having a situation where you let the left back and everybody else stay back, and you let the attackers one by one change direction. So Timber then goes forward and everything moves over. You know what I mean?
It'd be nice to be a lot like we're still extremely right hand centric. It as well, man.
The main reason why we're right hand centric is because we don't trust our left wingers. The left wingers.
Yeah, I hear that, but I can't lie, Arteta, that's not gonna fly now, man, because we've been saying this for 2 years, bordering on 3. Like, whether we do that or not, you need to trust them. You need to make sure we're not lopsided. Like, there's no excuse, because some of these guys will go to other clubs and we'll look at them differently. A Gaffer, you've got a potential, you've got ability, you're actually quite smart. Figure it out.
Couldn't we solve more problems just doing this? Wouldn't we solve more problems just having a 4-3-2-1? Then you have 4 players that can attack at any given point, and you have a back 4 that's solid. And then the midfield, their job is just to break the lines.
Or just protect. Like, right, so I'm not looking at you to break lines, but yeah, Zubi, do your thing.
He breaks lines with dribbling. Or running.
Yeah, but then when we're bucking these tight spaces, you're not going to get much joy. But I agree with it. But the thing is, Arteta knows more about football than us. But one thing I would say is Wenger knew more about football than you, Arteta. And I do think you could take a leaf from his book. And I'd also say whether you've got your UEFA badges or we're just armchair experts, everyone can't be wrong all the time. Like, what's got us here, like I keep saying it, Arteta's pragmatic approach has made us contenders. Your bravery will be the difference as to whether we end a 20+ year Premier League drought or not. Like, and the main thing for me with what you're showing there is interchanging movement. My last question for you, then, Egal. Yeah,
look at that comment from Saul. We don't use the half space.
Which one?
We don't use the half spaces.
It's by design. All the positives and all the negatives are by design. Like, I'm not even like.
That's how we got our 2 goals versus Port Vale, in that space, in that left half space.
If you put Wenger and Arteta together, you might have the perfect manager. Yeah, I wish you could do that. I have to ask you though, man, how important is it to win at Newcastle away? God forbid we lose or we draw. How do we look at this? Liverpool could potentially open the gap. Obviously, we win.
For my mental health, we need to win. But in actual reality, if we get a draw, and Liverpool win versus Palace,
I don't know, Egal. Mathematically, it's still cool, but I don't know. It starts to get away from you now.
Yeah, it just becomes a situation where it's like it's becoming too much of an uphill battle so early in the season. We just need. This sounds weak for me, but we just need Liverpool to start dropping points, and then we'll start feeling better about ourselves. Because we can win all our games that we want, but until Liverpool start dropping points, we're not going to start feeling better about ourselves.
I'll feel better about that. I think you're right, but I would also add on that everything you said. But Arteta, I just need you to control the controllables, because unpopular opinion, I don't even think it's the right time to be watching Liverpool and watching what Liverpool's doing. Like, I think I've seen the same things whether we've won, lost, or drawn. We just need to stop feeling sorry for ourselves and just get on with it. Of course, like you said, because of where we're at, there's points on the board. The only issue is the best thing you can say, or I can say, the best thing I can say, and the worst thing I can say is there's 33 more games in it. That's like 90 odd points. So it's down to the players. Pardon?
Go beat Newcastle and beat West Ham, back-to-back wins. Everybody's going to feel confident again. And in that time, if Liverpool can drop 2 points somewhere, we're back.
And they dropped points last season, but we didn't take advantage, bro.
But that's the story of our life.
And that is what needs to change. Yes, what did you just say? That's the story of our lives. Exactly. I don't know what to say, man.
Is it an Arteta thing? He changes his coaching staff every year. He changes his coaching staff almost every other year.
It's going to have to be an Arteta thing, because as you said, you change your coaching staff every year. We see new players. Bert is here. Bro, Gaffer, it's on you. And I'm not just saying this to create a pile-up with Arteta. It's on you. Yeah, you're the head honcho. Nothing gets done without you, even to the point where obviously you're not making a difference above board. But we're seeing in the Athletic, you're interviewing Bert. It's on you. Like you've got us here, bro. I want you to benefit from this. I want all of us to benefit because I don't care about a single individual connected to this football club above the football club. But I would rather you win and we've got stability and everything's happy and we're not doing the Mikel Arteta in out and all that crap. But unfortunately, it's down to you now. It's down to you, and it needs to start against Newcastle, which by God's grace we win. We all know that is not going to be easy. Newcastle's form's a bit shaky as well, if I'm honest with you. Like, I was browsing their results.
You think if we did a poll from all actual Arsenal fans, not like the people who claim to be Arsenal fans that are fake, do you think we'd actually have like majority of them saying we're going to win this game?
Nah, man.
Like match-going fans. If all the match-going fans and like all the fans that are not like the super positive or super negative, just like the neutrals, the people in the middle that are balanced, do you think a large majority of them would be like, I think we're going to lose this game or we're going to win this game? Do you think it would be 60-40?
I think they'd be leaning towards draw, you know. Maybe even more loss, because I think we're down in the dumps a bit. Maybe a bit of that is too emotional on our part. Maybe a bit of it is because of what we're seeing. One thing that doesn't help is Eddie Howe, unfortunately, has had our number a bit. We know it's going to be a fight. I don't want to be that Arsenal fan with referees, but we know that's going to be a thing. But end of the day, man, we knew when the season kicked off, we were playing. Eze has to start. I understand the logic with Marino.
Saka, Eze, Odegaard, or Ethan have to start.
Yeah, but I personally think Marino's going to play, to which I will say, Arteta, all right, just make sure you get my points. Please just make sure you get my points.
If Marino plays... I need to see what do you call it? Something that shows me that we are tactically superior to Newcastle.
Just get my 3 points, because even if I'm being harsh, you rocked up at Newcastle away last year with the stinky midfield of Marino, Rice, and at the time Partey. If nothing changes, man.
No. He went with Jorginho, no?
No. You're forgetting. I'm sure we went Bournemouth away, and we also went Newcastle away with Marino in that midfield three. And it's not even just a Marino thing. It's more, again, I'm not trying to make this Marino or any other player. It's the point where I'm trying to preach. Look at the players as tools now. Arteta is the tradesman. At times, you could have been like, okay, the tradesman's only as good as the tools available. Now you've gone to Wicks and Halford. You've got top-end drill. You've got electric drill. You've got serious things. And I'm sorry, but it's Arsenal Football Club. Attack shouldn't be issues. You've done the hard part. I'm of the belief it's harder to learn how to be an amicable defense than a good attack, because in attack, you can rely on instinct. You need to get it done. The last thing I want to ask you,
game. I don't care if it's an ugly game, just get the win. We know
Newcastle's form is a bit shaky. I don't want to do the form thing, but there's that. And then obviously you got Arteta against.
We don't play the best football either, so it's like it suits.
Oh, we're not playing Newcastle for football. This is a rugby match, as someone said in the comments. This is a fighting thing.
Yeah. This is Anchorman. Everyone get their sticks ready.
Exactly. We win. Arteta, for your sake, I need you to win, because it can't be. You can't win the title now.
For our sake, bro. Forget about it.
For all our sakes, because I know, obviously, being a content creator, like one thing that jars me is having to answer the same questions. I know what comes with it, like Arteta in or out.
How many times did you have to speak about the lineup after the City game?
A million times. And for me, I'm not gonna lie, Arteta, I've wanted you to puff out chest. You failed at Liverpool. I think you failed on the grand scheme of things at City. I think I need that against Newcastle. These are the grounds that make me start. Remember, I said earlier, I only believe we'll win a title when I actually see us lifting it. If you were to, no, I'll still believe it and whatnot. But if you showed me something different at Anfield, not so much City, but if you showed me something different at City, definitely win at St. James's Park. This is when I'm like, all right, cool. Because these are the grounds, Anfield and St. James Park, I'm happy we got out of the way. These are the grounds no one wants to play for. And I remember saying to you in the summer, I know people are crying about the first 6 games we had, but I could argue this is the best time, because even though Liverpool have taken maximum points, they've not been perfect. Not a single team's been perfect. It's kind of an even playing ground. I can't go back in time. I can't look to the future because it brings uncertainty. And there's no time like the present. And unfortunately, when it's all said and done in these 3 years, 4, if you include now, we haven't seized the present. And now that has to stop. Need to do this thing, man.
Will we? What's going on?
I don't know, man. But you lot give it up for Egal. Egal, what content you got to come out today as well, man? I will be cutting up Egal's segment and putting it out for you lot as well, because he joined the stream.
I got vibes from the 6th tonight at 10 o'clock. We do our panel show. I'm going to have a Newcastle fan on, Liverpool fan. We're going to talk about Kanate going to Liverpool, Saliba staying, Newcastle game, Palace game. And I was speaking to Rich, who's a Palace fan. He's like, bro, I believe we can get a point from Liverpool game. So I'm hoping they get something from the game. And knowing Arsenal, if Palace get something from this Liverpool game, we'll drop points ourselves.
Don't say it. Don't say it. That's what I said. Don't say it. Yeah. Yeah. But that's the thing. It's one thing to say Liverpool dropping points. It's another thing us getting them. All we can do is just crack on in it. Like we can bitch about the team. We can be happy. Just crack on, man. Like we all knew what was going to be said about this club. Go on.
Even if we win, they're going to find something else to talk shit about. The Arsenal, you know what the story has been? Let me give you the perfect breakdown. Gary Neville, game week 1. Arsenal won, but that's not how Liverpool or City would have beat Man United on the first game of the season. They would have taken them to the sword. Then the second game, who'd we play? 5-0. Yeah, sometimes teams that are not even that good can beat a team 5-0. And then